These are the cards, people. These are the cards. This is the poker hand right now. These aren't real actual playing cards. These are actual basketball cards, believe it or not. They're women's basketball cards. In fact, here's a Rakea Jackson, another Rakea Jackson, another Rakea Jackson, another Rakea Jackson, another Rakea Jackson. Here's an Angel Reese. Then I got, and here's an Asia Wilson, Asia Wilson, Asia Wilson, Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier, Sydney Colson. Got a whole bunch of cards here. I got here Leah Boston, Cam Brink, Caitlin, Sophie, Page. These are the cards, right? This is my poker hand, right? This is what the WNBA players are holding, right? They just folded. They just folded. The WNBPA just folded. They have broken. They are breaking. They just put a counter proposal to the WNBA, and I'm here to talk about it because now we're getting into women's basketball time, and March Madness is coming along, and we're gonna have some specials this week for y'all. Promise y'all on Friday night it's gonna be fun. We're about to do a live on Friday night, myself and Ben Daniel. We're gonna welcome Angel Reese back into the building on Friday night at Unrivaled. Yes, that's right. Myself and Ben Daniel will be going live to converse about what's going on live during the Unrivaled basketball games. Yes, we're gonna do it. We're breaking on this one ourselves. We're gonna watch this game, see if Angel Reese changes all and everything Unrivaled. She is having an effect. We're gonna turn this shit on. So we're gonna turn this shit on, and y'all can come along and watch it with us and enjoy the ride. I don't think we'll turn it on after that, but Friday night, we're going to be watching it. So let's talk about this right here. Like, subscribe, follow us on the social media, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Today, dropped at 7:42 p.m. by one Alexa Philippou. The WNBPA submitted a counter proposal to the WNBA. Yes, they did. On Tuesday, no less. And they have now said, according to sources familiar with the proposal, the players' union is now asking for an average of 27.5% of gross revenue, defined as revenue before deducting expenses. They want money before expenses because they know their league doesn't make any money. They know their league don't make no damn money. So they want to have guarantees of money. But again, the league doesn't make any money, so they want to have a guarantee. Guarantee. That's what they want. They want a guarantee, right? Let's talk about this guarantee. So this is defined as revenue before deducting expenses over the course of the agreement, including a 25% and less than a $9.5 million salary cap in year one. So they're dropping their draws, man. They're trying to make it work now, even though they're still crazy, but they are breaking. In his previous proposal, they had asked to receive an average of 31% of gross revenue, starting at 28% in year one and a $10.5 million cap. On the issue of housing, which has also been a critical point in negotiations, something that they complained about. Now, the players propose that teams continue to provide housing to players in the first several years of the new agreement, but that in later years, teams will no longer be obligated to provide housing for players making close to the maximum salary on multi-year deals and receiving full salary protection, a source said. WNBA teams have been required to provide housing for players since the first CBA was ratified in 1999. So the ownership has been paying for these people's houses and apartments for 27 years. So I understand why they're a little bit upset about not getting their free housing. I get it, but now you're gonna be making like something. The average salary will be making $250,000 a year. So it's like, sorry, the minimum salary will be making 250 grand a year, and the average will be over 500 grand a year. Mind you, again, you're only playing for 4 months, so you're upset about the fact that you got to rent an apartment for 4 months. Like, I don't see the problem, but they provide housing in the form of one-bedroom apartments or a stipend, but the league had not included housing provisions in its proposals prior to its latest one. So they gave housing back, and now the players are trying to come back with whatever. Now, crazy. So this proposal came 11 days after the league submitted a response to the WNBPA proposal from around Christmas. Players are crashing out. You got players like Breanna Stewart who are sitting here trying to jump into the Euro League. Just to give you a little background on that, I just think it's rather telling that she would decide this. Again, she's not one that's needing money. So Breanna Stewart is signing with European powerhouse Fenerbahce Opet in Turkey for the 2026 Euro League Final Six. The team announced Monday the single elimination tournament to decide the Euro League champion will be held in Spain April 15th to 19th. Stewart is currently playing with Mist BC in her second season in Unrivaled. The regular season concludes February 28th. The playoffs run through March 4th. She's scheduled to join Team USA March 7th and 8th training camp in Miami and then head to Turkey. She is not on the American roster for the FIBA World Cup qualifying tournament, which runs March 11th to 16th. She previously played for Fenerbahce during 2022-2023 season and led the team to the EuroLeague title and was named MVP of the Final Four. This season's Fenerbahce roster was stacked even before Stewart's arrival, featuring Kayla McBride, Gabby Williams, Emma Messiman, as well as Ilyana Rupert and Julie Alemand. This is hilarious. So she's doing this more than likely because she doesn't believe that the WNBA is going to have an agreement. Like, that kind of tells you that she doesn't believe that they're going to have an agreement. The schedule of the EuroLeague Final Six also aligns well with Stewart's WNBA obligations in 2026. Per the prioritization clause of the current collective bargaining agreement, players are required to report by the start of the season or May 1st, whichever is later. The last possible game for Fenerbahce will be April 19th. But let's be real. If she had a season coming up that she knew was going to happen, I don't think she would make this decision. She doesn't need the money to do it naturally. But there are players who are clearly starting to speak up about the fact that they do need the money, which is why you have this counter proposal, which is now dropping their revenue share demands that they had said were a non-negotiable. So clearly they have become a negotiable. They are now a negotiable. And they just, as I said, they showed their hand and they folded. You can't say something is a non-negotiable and then negotiate on the non-negotiable. It makes you look weak. It makes you look silly. Don't ever call something non-negotiable that you are then later on going to negotiate on. That's a very bad move and it's a very dangerous play because it's like raising children. You punish your kid, you take away his phone, her phone, they can't play video games, and you say you're punished for a week. Well, and I can speak to this because I just had this happen. My son broke his phone, actually dropped his phone in the lake. We have in our townhome complex, we have a big lake in the middle of the complex, and he was going fishing with his friends off of the bridge, which don't know why he was fishing off of the bridge. I thought he should have been fishing off the side. And then when they run and tell me he dropped his phone in the lake, I'm like, why don't you just grab it? Well, apparently he dropped his phone in the middle of the damn lake. This dumbass jumped into this murkish water. I don't know what's in that lake. Obviously couldn't find his phone because it's dark as heck in there. It's murky water. You can't see shit. I don't know why he did that. But he didn't get his phone. But I ordered a new phone, but he didn't get it for a month. I told him, you're out of a phone for a month. You got to earn that crap back. Well, if I had acquiesced and given him his phone back after a week or 2 weeks, then what? What lesson would be learned? What would happen is I would have folded my hand and gone, bomb, here you go. And I would have now been the weaker party. And I can't hold myself to what I said was a non-negotiable. There was no negotiating getting that phone back. And I did think about it. Trust me. I'm like, for me, it was more annoying than everything because these phones entertain the kids and I don't want to be bothered, just being honest. And sometimes I'm trying to reach him and I can't now because he didn't have his phone. So I have to reach the other one who has his phone and tell your brother to come down here or tell your brother XYZ, blase, blase. But if I had negotiated a non-negotiable punishment, if I had negotiated that punishment and dropped it down, I'd never be taken seriously again. The WNBA players have just made themselves look like clowns because they said over and over and over, this is a non-negotiable component. This is what we want. We're not negotiating on this. You just did. You just blinked. You just showed your hand. You just folded. You just gave it up. And now you know what's going to happen? The WNBA owners are going to keep coming back at you again and again and again and again. And eventually, you're going to fold completely because you showed with this counter proposal that you're not as strong as you try to make yourselves look. WNBA's previous proposal, as we know, the max salaries have now jumped up to 1.3 million, projected to approach 2 million by 2031. Supermax was 249. Now it's going to jump up by 5 times that. The average player salary is going to go from up to 540 grand and 780 by 2031, up from 120 in 2025. Like they're going to make a boatload of bread, man, and they're being guided by morons, as we all know, people that are not truly business savvy. No matter what Brianna Stewart tries to tell you, and no matter what Nafisa Collier tries to tell you, they're not business savvy. They don't know what they don't know what they don't know. They're not billionaires. They can't afford to sit out a season. I mean, there might be a handful of players that can afford to sit out a full women's basketball season without having to go play overseas. Could players sit out for the WNBA portion? Sure. But could they sit out overseas, unrivaled, other options? No, they couldn't because they need to make money in some capacity. So I think it's real interesting that they decided that they're going to lower their number. Now, is their number a conversation starter? No. It's still out of control. You're not going to get paid off of revenue and not profit. Not when I've been losing money for forever. But hey, man, y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. What do y'all think about this? Very interesting to see them drop in their revenue request. So revenue share request. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments. Again, appreciate y'all jumping on board. Subscribe, follow us on social media. This is Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.